Now I've always fancied having a bit of DX on the low bands, so on 80 metres and 160 metres. The problem I've got is at home I just haven't got the space, so I've got an 80 metre end fed halfway, but it's just way too low to the ground, way too much local noise to do anything productive. It's not really the right antenna for the job, so I want to try a quarter wave vertical. Now what I've got set up here is, this is a DX Commander. It's an 18 metre mast, so the wire wraps up around the mast all the way to the top. As you get to the bottom here, it's kind of like a loaded vertical, so the wires are spaced about, I don't know, what's that, about 3 inches apart as it winds down the mast. So it's not a true quarter wave vertical, but it seems to work fairly well on 80. I've already done a whisper test. I have to give mention to Zach from Zachtek, helped me out with the whisper transmitter I'm going to be using today. So 80 metres it seems to do fairly well. Now this is a 200 milliwatt transmitter, transmit only, no receive. You've got antenna goes in one end, GPS antenna, you need a GPS in there for the timing, and a USB power supply goes in the other end, and that just keeps transmitting away like a beacon. Well, it is a beacon, and then you can check online on Whisper Reporter and see where your station's been picked up around the world. So my dilemma, I'm thinking about putting a remote station in here which I can access from home for a bit of nighttime DX. I've already tested 80 on this antenna and it seems to work quite well on 80. I also want to do 160, but I don't want to break 80, so I want to be able to use it on both. So I've got a plan for that, and this is it, a loading coil, and I've got another smaller one down there. So this is a bit of Perspex pipe, plumbing pipe. I've got a bit of electric fence wire, which with amateurs, we're cheap, we're doing this on a budget. So I had some electric fence down here. I've used the wire, wrapped it around here, and I've used some old guy rope, 2mm mast strength guy rope, which I've wrapped around parallel to the fence wire just to space it out and kind of insulate it a little bit so it doesn't short out. So that's what that is. And then I've just got a hose clamp, or Jubilee clip as we call it in this country, which I can slide up and down and adjust the amount of loading like so. I've got 2 of those. So I'm going to stick these on the 80 metre and see if it'll load up on 160. Now, I know people are going to say 18 metres on 160 is a little bit short. It's not really tall enough. It'd be more efficient to do some top loading. So put like a top hat on and load it that way. That is true. But as I said, I want to keep this usable on 80 metres, and dropping this mast, especially single-handed, is a royal pain in the behind. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to accept the inefficiency and load it with a loading coil at the bottom and see how we get on. Now, going in our favour, the radial field underneath, I've got quite a good radial field on this antenna. It's the radials are only 16 metres long, but I think we got, from memory, I think I put in about 40 odd radials. So that works well on 80, and yes, I know you'll read all the old documentation will tell you 120 radials, blah blah blah. For what we're doing, you go above sort of 40 radials, you're into diminishing returns. So we've got 40 radials, 16 metres long, should be perfectly adequate for what we're doing. So I'm going to put the Zachtek whisper transmitter in the control box over the other end of the field. Set it up with power. We've got solar power over there and a battery, so that will keep it running overnight. And then we'll come back in a day or two's time, go online, look at the results and see what we got. Give you a really quick up close view. So I ended up using the smaller coil here, and absolutely almost perfect on the SWR. Actually, it was, I had to tweak this slidey bit just a tiny bit, but it was very close. We're down to, I think, about 1.2 to 1 SWR, which absolutely fine, perfect, no worries with that. I've put this little fiberglass, this is an old spider beam mast that snapped on me, So I've just put that in the ground inside the coil, just to keep the coil upright and try and get it off the ground a little bit. One-to-one balun, choke, call it what you will down there. So coax cable comes in, that goes to my ground, both ground rod and radial field. The other side goes into the coil. The sliding ring on the coil comes off, goes into the wire up the mast, and that wire goes into this box. There's actually nothing in there at the moment. That's just you see where it joins there, and then goes straight underground and goes all the way across the field. You're probably not going to be able to see it here because it's hidden by all the grass, but way up down the other end here there's a control box where all the radio kit goes. So that is where I'm going to put the Whisper transmitter. For completeness, I'll give you a really quick tour inside the control box. Not really an awful lot to see with this setup, it's really basic. Solar panel on the top here. This is, I can't remember if this is a 150 or 200 watt solar panel, I can't remember, but it's more than adequate. It's overkill actually for what we're doing. That comes into a solar controller in here and down to the battery. So I've got two 5200 milliampere hour batteries, so for all intents and purposes call that 10 ampere hours, going into a USB converter here. Again, completely overkill. These transmitters only draw about 200 300 milliwatts, I think it is, on transmit. It's negligible, so these batteries will keep this running for hours, maybe even a day or more easily. But whilst we've got the solar here, we might as well charge it up. So that is going to be our setup. Got the GPS puck. It's just, you can't see it. It's the other side. It's on the outside of this panel. And this is the wire that goes into my antenna down into the ground. All adequately grounded. We've got a ground rod in here as well. So there is our setup. We're going to leave that running for a couple of days, and then we'll see what we get. Time for some results. So I put this Whisper transmitter on the air about, it was what, a week, 2 weeks ago. So it's been running for a good amount of time. So we've got some good results here, and the results are both encouraging and perhaps a little discouraging at the same time. So let me explain what's going on here. So I'll show you the Whisper map from on 80 meters before I converted this to 160. So the original idea was to work some DX on the low bands at night time, and on 80 meters you can see on this map up here, it looks pretty good. Nothing into Africa, not much into Asia, but I think that's probably more that there aren't many Whisper receiving stations there. Easily getting down into Australia and certainly east coast of North America. So on 80 meters, this very lightly loaded vertical on 80 meters works extremely well. Now, if I show you the 160 meter map, you will notice that all of the contacts are around Europe. I'm not getting any real sort of DX. Now, I'm not the most knowledgeable person on 160 meters. I've never really played with it before, so this is kind of like my first foray into 160 meters. And since starting this experiment, I've done a bit of reading up. I think there were two things going on here. So the first thing is, this is a short antenna for 160 meters. So ideally you want a quarter wave on 160 meters. Well, that's going to give you a, what, 40 meter tall vertical. Realistically, I cannot get anything that large up in the air, and neither can most people. So what we're going to be doing here is a compromise. At 18 meters tall, our mast is what, just short of 1/8 of a wavelength. So it's going to be a compromise. There's going to be some losses in the loading coil, and we're only, don't forget, we're only running 200 milliwatts here, 0.2 watts. So to get that sort of coverage across Europe on 0.2 watts, I'd say that's actually pretty good. Now, the second thing I discovered is I've done some reading up, and 160 meters for DX is the best time to do that is in the winter, sort of probably November through to about March sort of time. So I'm filming this slap bang in the middle of summer. It's the middle of June as I film this. So it's completely the wrong time of year for DXing on 160 meters. So that's on me. It'd be interesting to repeat this experiment in the winter. But having said that, looking at the results around Europe, I think this has still got legs. So what is interesting, and as I said before, 160 meters is a nighttime DX band. So if you look at this chart here, what this is plotting is your signal to noise ratio, so your signal strength versus the time. And each dot on this chart represents an individual spot. And you notice through the day, the SNR is generally a little bit lower and there's less spots. So between 8 in the morning and 8 in the evening, you still get a few local, regional around the UK, but you're not getting much further out. But then you notice once you get to about 8, 9 o'clock at night, this really packs out. You get loads and loads of spots in there, and also some longer distance spots as well, through to about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and then it just collapses again. I've got a little animation here, and what you're going to see as this runs is, as the grey line comes across, you're going to start seeing a reduced number of spots. So a lot of these grey lines showing propagation are disappearing. So I end up with just local, regional stuff in the UK, sort of even down to sort of 50, 60 miles or so. So it becomes very, very local. Then as the grey line comes in, you'll notice the spots further afield into Germany, Denmark, Switzerland, etc., etc., start to fill in. So there you go. That's my interesting little experiment. So an 18-meter DX Commander on 160 meters. It's certainly doable. It works. It gets your signal out there. I think I did this at the wrong time of year, so I want to repeat this in the winter and see if we can do any better and get some DX. So there you go, little experiment for you. That's what I found. Let me know in the comments what your experiments have revealed.